Next, I'd like to introduce you to generalized charts for enthalpy and entropy change calculations. So, virtually every time we're wanting to work a problem involving enthalpy, entropy, any of these energy values, we're really wanting to know how the variable changes through a process, not necessarily what the value is at any moment in time. We know how to do this for ideal gases. And for some real gases, I can do this because I have a lot of data available to me. But for other substances, this can be a little bit of a challenge. So what we're going to do is we're going to take advantage of the fact that a property change is independent of path. So when I'm trying to go from state 1 to state 2, a real substance at state 1 to a real substance at state 2, I would normally be taking perhaps this blue path, but I could, as far as calculations go, just as easily do some other more creative path. So one creative path is to look at going from a real to an ideal gas. Let the change happen as an ideal gas. I have lots of tools for doing those calculations. And then from an ideal to a real substance. So looking at that a little bit more closely, what I'm saying is that I'm going to use some sort of change, how my real substance is different from my ideal substance. And I'm going to look at how delta H or delta S changes using ideal gas properties. So I can either use the ideal gas tables, which integrate C sub P and C sub V as a function of temperature, or I can just do the integration myself. But these are easy calculations in general, and then I can return the material to a real substance. This change from real to ideal is called a departure function. So if I take the real value minus the ideal, that's the departure. So from real to ideal, okay, ideal minus real is the negative departure function. So this departure function concept, what on earth is that? Well, again, people did this for many substances, said, looks like it's very similar if I adjust for critical temperature and pressure. And so they created charts. And these are out of your book. This is H minus H as an ideal gas over RT as a function of reduced pressure and reduced temperatures. Each curve is a different reduced temperature. Similar chart is for S versus P for various values of reduced temperature. So I'm again going to be calculating T and P as a ratio to their critical values. That's going to be the reduced temperature and reduced pressure. I'll find a value on this chart and find something that's going to be useful as H or S calculations are being done. So if I put this together, let me just look at the equation for you of how this works. So I'm going to calculate TR. It's going to be T over TC. And I'll calculate PR, P over PC. And then I'll go to the figure A4 in the book. Now these are done on a mole basis because they are more alike if I do a mole basis than a mass basis. Every time you see a star, it indicates it's an ideal gas calculation. So if I want to know what H1 minus H2 is for a real substance, and I'd like it to be in a mass basis, well, I'm going to do calculations in a mole basis, so I'll divide by the molecular mass. I'm going to do the enthalpy change for an ideal gas using all the equations we've already developed. So C sub P delta T if it's constant C sub P. Using the integral of C sub P dt if it's not an ideal or not constant C sub P. And then these are my departure functions. These are these values I'm going to read in the chart. So the beginning or state 1, whatever order I'm doing here, pay attention to that. Okay, so it's minus RT, and I want the universal R. It's for mole basis. Okay, it has T sub C in it, so I'll need to use that critical temperature again. I look this value up in a chart. I look this value up in the chart. I subtract. I multiply by RTC. I add my delta H for the ideal gas and correct to get to mass basis instead of mole. For entropy, I do a very similar sort of thing. It looks pretty much the same, except for it's divided by R, not RT. And remember, my change for entropy is going to be the integral of Cp dt over T minus the natural log of, or minus RT, the natural log of P2 over P1. Okay, so this is an ideal gas calculation. This is an ideal gas calculation.